take advantage of it, and that's what I did.
Now, again, defense is your trademark, and I'm always fascinated. How much we're always taught you're going to be up like this, and you're not. You're like this.
Okay, right here.
All right. How does this work now? Why does this work for you?
Because.
All right. So first of all, shout out to AOV Boxing. All right, because this is some knowledge right here. For those people who don't know much about boxing, I want you guys to listen to what this conversation is about, because it's got some knowledge in it.
Mayweather style.
Oh, yeah. If a guy shoots a jab, I can pick his jab.
Right.
If a guy shoots a jab, I can pick his jab. If he come around the hook, I catch the hook right here. Pick his jab right, catch the hook right here. If he shoot the right hand, I do like this, then I roll back and come.
Right.
So it's more like I can roll my shoulder and come here. I can roll my shoulder and come here. Or I can roll my shoulder and come there. And I can pick his shots like this. Either way, or I can slide under.
All right.
And so
it seems like your face would be vulnerable, but it's not. It's not. Clearly, it's working for you. I mean, this is the one stance that we see, and yet you did more than this against Corley. You went one time, actually a couple of times, where you were straight up and said, "Wait a second, he's got his jab up in the air." Why was that?
Because that's showing my versatility as a fighter. Show my, you got to change style. You can't.
Why would you do that? To get your jab off that?
Because you don't want to be just one dimensional. Sometimes I may squat low just to turn the guy in the stomach.
Right.
But then I may feint him and come up with the hook. And sometimes I may just pick the guy, lay back, and relax. We call it in a pocket. So we lay in a pocket sometimes, take our time, relax. And I just call the game plan. Stick to the game plan, walk around, set up a game plan. And the only thing you say is be comfortable and show your versatility. That's what I'm trying to do.
All right, here's what's the other.
Now, did you hear that? Versatility. If you're one-dimensional. So people used to talk about Floyd Mayweather and the shoulder roll, the shoulder roll, the shoulder roll, the shoulder roll. And I've been talking to you guys that he has more than one stance. You have to be versatile. You must be able to be flexible and pliable. So sometimes Floyd put the two hands up and walk to you. Right? Yeah, that's what he was talking about. And I just wanted to highlight that this is not my information, folks. I'm just the messenger. You know what I mean? This has been said before. But what happens is sometimes in major media, people highlight certain things. You know, I heard people talk about, oh, Floyd got trouble with southpaws. He had problems with DeMarcus Corley. He had problems with Zab Judah. Floyd don't have problems with southpaws. But what you guys got to understand is sometimes he would implement one particular strategy, don't work, so he'd go to another because he's versatile. And the thing about it is, if you go and watch all the fights Floyd has had with all of the different southpaws, you're going to see he always had different strategies for different fighters. Because fight by fight basis and fighter by fighter basis, different fighters fight differently. So you have to use different strategies to fight different fighters. One more thing. Floyd did not really fight Manny Pacquiao in the pocket, right? He fought Manny Pacquiao on the outside. However, when he fought Robert Guerrero in the pocket, right? He even walked to Robert Guerrero at times. He came to him so that he could get to him, right? Because when you're in the pocket, then you can counterpunch someone, right? When you're on the outside, you sharp shoot, right? When you're on the inside, you jostle for position, right? See, all of these things, it's not my words. You notice I'm not talking my language. If you listen carefully, it's boxing talk, right? I talk the language of boxing. Again, I'm trying to educate people on things that they see in a boxing ring, because I think a lot of people don't even know what the heck I'm talking about. You know what I mean? But Floyd got more to say. So I just want to... And by the way, these are fundamentals. And by the way, Floyd's telling you this, but almost any boxer will tell you this. Even Manny Pacquiao might tell you the same thing. Well, Manny Pacquiao don't have as much game as Floyd, but he says basically this words to that same effect. Let's go back.
So again, yeah, sometimes when you're trying to get that chance, you go right down. When are you doing that?
Right here, exactly right here.
So if I'm conventional here, perhaps if I'm left, you go.
I'm right here. Shoot your jab. And so when I'm squatting down, I come back and I come over his jab.
Right.
Because he's a southpaw. So, stand up. And most times we both stand up, our arms going to bump like this, going to block like this. Right. If I'm like this, he shoot a jab, I can come back over his jab. Or I can set up like this to come up with an uppercut.
Seems like you do a little more punishing that way.
Okay, so again, Floyd giving you some knowledge about fighting southpaws, so you guys can understand. And he's just telling you one of many methods that he implements against southpaws. And one of them is changing levels. Now, remember I used to talk about changing levels with you guys and the advantages of it? Now, in changing levels, Floyd can do a number of different things. Oh, there was another thing that I wanted to talk about because I thought it was very important for all those guys who copycat the shoulder roll style, or the Midwest style of boxing that Floyd is talking about here. One of the things he said also was that he would swivel under a punch. In other words, he would dip or go under. He would slip under a punch. A lot of people do not pay a lot of attention in boxing to slipping punches, to rolling under punches, to bobbing and weaving past punches, to because if you can roll under, if you can slip a punch, if you can bob and weave, then you kind of negate reach advantage. You're able to get within a guy's reach and then stay in the pocket. And Floyd talked a lot about being in the pocket, right? Let's go on. There's so much I would like to unpack here.
Right? That's what things are.
I feel more comfortable fighting in the pocket. I feel a lot more comfortable because you can see a lot of shots clear and you can catch a lot of shots.
Now, I want you guys to understand what Floyd said. This is a gimme that people don't understand. A lot of people think that Floyd is afraid to fight people off the ropes, and he fights scared and he runs away from them. But Floyd just told you the secret to him. Floyd loves fighting in the pocket. For those of people who don't know what the pocket is where both fighters can reach each other. It's within the reach of both fighters. So the other fighter can fight you, he can hit you, and you can hit the other guy. Fighting in the pocket is what Floyd trains for. If you watch him when he's fighting when he's doing his drills with Roger Mayweather, he's in the pocket. He's not on the outside. He's in the pocket, right? Watch it at the oh snap! I forgot what. Man, I blank out on all kinds of things. When he's doing those mitt work with Roger Mayweather, right? Watch what he's doing. Look at the mitt work he does with oh my God, I'm forgetting everybody's name now. The big dude, the big heavyweight dude with the big chest guard. That's where Floyd might either fight on the inside, you see him throwing punches on the inside, or you see him throwing punches on the outside, right? But if you look at the mitt work with Roger Mayweather, Floyd is fighting in the pocket. And Floyd just told you it's not like he likes it. He loves fighting in the pocket. He's most comfortable fighting in the pocket. And you guys got to listen to that, because it don't matter where Floyd is in the ring. He likes when he's within range of the other fighter, because he got that defense to handle him. And two, he gets to counter comfortably. He says he's most comfortable in the pocket. That is something that's a secret right there that people don't understand. You know, people say Floyd is afraid to mix up with fighters. When you're in the pocket, you got to mix up with a fighter. And that is Floyd's strong point. He likes being in the pocket for that reason. So, again, it's given away why Floyd was so successful in his fights. And I would encourage young fighters, I think a lot of fighters do mitt work. You know, it's basically the mitt work, depending on what you're doing. If it's long striking, then it's a different story. But your mitt work should involve pocket mitt work. If you look at the mitt work that Roger Mayweather does with Floyd Mayweather Jr., you see the defense and the offense of Floyd Mayweather Jr., the snapbacks, the roll-unders, the bobbing and weaving inside of when a guy's crossing over shots or he's throwing a jab, you must be able to bob and weave in it. Floyd incorporate all those styles because Floyd likes catching, slipping, rolling under, bobbing and weaving. He adapt different styles too. Like he said, you got to be versatile. You must be able to fight with your hands up. You must be able to fight with your hands extended. You must be able to fight with your hands to your side. You must be able to fight low. You must be able to fight high. You must be able to slip and slide. You must be able to roll under. You must be able to roll under, come over the top. You must be able to roll back or snap back or swivel back and then come to the bottom. You must be able to be fluent with your shots. So almost like a keto, you ride a shot and you come back with another shot with the same motion. You see, it's this kind of stuff that Floyd talk about. This will make him look slick, make him look smooth, make him look nice, make him look flashy, but at the same time make him effective. I want you guys to understand boxing is like a dance in a way. And your footwork now affords movement, but you got to also have movement devoid of footwork. That's why Eric Bradley talks about remote footwork, where your footwork works independently to your upper body and what you want to do with your upper body. You might be slipping and sliding while you pivoted. You might be rolling under a shot, coming over the top while you are sliding back or sliding in. You might be sliding in, rolling under, coming over the top. You know what I'm saying? The footwork doesn't necessarily have to mesh with the upper body movement and what the upper body is doing, but they must work hand in hand in a sort of unison to bring forth the result. The other thing is, Floyd got a rhythm to him, but he can change up that rhythm if he needs to. He can change up the pace at which he's doing things. He can change up the timing at what he's doing. You understand what I'm saying? He does a lot of different things all at the same time. And they can work independently of each other, but still in unison to give the whole. And that's the thing that Floyd be talking about. The reason why Floyd's shoulder roll works is not because of the shoulder roll, but it's because of how Floyd uses the shoulder roll. He knows when to use it, how to use it, why he's using it. And he incorporates that into the style of fighting that he does. But he uses many different styles. He can use the high guard stance, walk to you. He can use the high guard stance, use it for defense to go backwards. If you look at Manny Pacquiao, he uses primarily the high guard stance, right? But Pacquiao also goes side on, and he may use the shoulder roll defense at times. So each of these little techniques you might use at a certain point in time in your fight, wherever it is sensible to use with your style. Floyd's style is kind of fluid, it's kind of flexible. It can incorporate other styles into it. It can sometimes reflect the style that it's fighting. You understand? And all of these things have to do with adjustments. He adjusts to the style he's facing, and therefore whatever is expedient, he has many options, but whatever is expedient for him and the one which will provide the least resistance to him from his opposition, he may apply it. And he doesn't think to do these things. This is something that's kind of incorporated into him, and his will to win is what produces these things which are expedient for the moment. It's not something where you're thinking, like Eric Bradley said, it's not something where he conscientiously thinking, I'm going to use this style now. No, he's not thinking all of that. It just happens. You know, it just happens. It flows. He's just in a flow state. He let it happen. You understand? To make it happen for the result that he wants, which is to win. Now, there's a lot of stuff Floyd just unpacked there for you guys. He showed the advantages of that side-on Michigan-style defense. But then you got what's called the half guard, which is the Michigan style defense. You got the extended guard, which is like what Charlie Burley do, which is what Andrew Ward used. You got the double guard. You got the high guard, double guard. You got the low guard, double guard. You got the hands at your side guard. All right. Now Floyd sometimes he do the disarming thing to encourage you to come at him. So he stick out his head, his two hands are at the side. You see Roy Jones Jr. do it. You see Sugar Ray Leonard do some of that. Right. The hands drop low, but he's at a different level. He's at the low level. Sometimes you see Floyd come in with the extended guard. So his two hands are actually out and he's swiveling them in space. And the idea is he really is trying to keep you in a trance sort of. And he's got the hand, he's ready to fire the right hand. He's actually in an offensive position. People don't know that. They think he's in a defensive position. So the guards are out there, but they're not really out there to block a punch. They're really, because the high guard will block the punch. His guards are really out there to actually mesmerize you so he can attack you. Roy Jones Jr. would put his two guards up. He would do as if he's going to catch the punch. But really what he would do is slap down the punch and go over the top and hit you with it. Or you want to slap down the jab and go over the jab. Another thing that Floyd talked about when you're dealing with a southpaw, he gave so many secrets away to the younger boxers. Instead of going at a southpaw, for example, instead of going at a southpaw and trying to do the duel of the jab and trying to compete with them at one level, go below their level. So instead of trying to slap down the jab and go over it, right, go change levels on them so you can see it at a different angle where you want to go. And then when they throw their jab, you know, you can hook off their jab. So you can do is that you can feint the jab and then go a hook over the jab. You saw him do that to Manny Pacquiao, even though he didn't change levels. He feinted as if he was going to throw the jab. Manny Pacquiao extended. As he extended, he hooked over the jab and whip hooked Manny Pacquiao, right? So, in short, what I'm saying to you is that What Floyd is showing you is a clever thing to do is change levels on a boxer who you're dueling to extend your jab to see where he's at. You're dueling to extend your jab to find the target at the same time. You want your jab to come through, or you want your hook to come through, right? So this is one of the ways, change levels. So he explained that in the video. My point is, there's so many different ways to go about doing something in the ring. But once you got the basic skills for it, then you're prepared for whatever challenge may be thrown at you. You don't know what the challenge may be that's thrown at you, so you can't make a game plan. But what you do is you prepare yourself, refining and honing the skills you have, and building on your mindset, because a lot of the things you do, sparring and all these things, have to do with refining your mindset, trying out different techniques, just getting you more solid with people coming at you with opposition. It's not going to really apply to, like Eric Bradley says so correctly, and I guess I didn't understand that because I was talking about sparring in a totally different light. It's not necessarily to prepare you for a fight, because what happens in a fight and what happens in sparring not necessarily apply to each other. But what it does is it helps you to work certain general principles, certain basic techniques to build up, to kind of strengthen your fundamentals, what you do best, so that at least you're sharpened up to a degree where if you got to use this or you got to use that, or you got to rely on this or you got to rely on that, you've kind of kept those things sharpened up. You know, it's kind of like you're practicing for a recital. For instance, I'm a piano player, right? I play keyboard and stuff. Well, you practice playing the keyboard and stuff, but nobody told you what you're gonna be playing, right? It's something that you just gonna improvise and make up a song or something on the spot. Okay, if you're gonna improvise, you practice your techniques and your skills, and you practice sort of just vaguely playing songs. Somebody might tell you play this song, play that song, so you play them, but you don't know the exact song and the topic and what you're really gonna have to sing and play. But when you get there, you're sharpened up so that whatever is thrown at you, you're ready to handle it. You know, I was somebody who used to do something called calypso. It's an extempo thing where they give you a topic and you got to do 3 verses and a chorus after each verse on the topic that's given. It's kind of like if you're in a rap battle and you have to just extemporize, and whatever the topic is, you got to go with that. It's kind of like that. That's what it is kind of like. In my opinion, that's what it's about. You don't know what you're going to actually face out there. You may have some kind of concept or idea, but the person doesn't necessarily have to fight that way when they come to see you. So you got to be prepared for whatever faces you. Make sure you sharpen up your tools so that when it's time to use them, you can use them. And that's basically what, sometimes sparring is about for at least the established boxer. We're seeing it all. It's just about sharpening up the tools they have and using the tools that they have in fights. And I'm not saying you don't study your opponent, you don't study fight. Your trainer don't study tape on your opponent. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that when you get into that ring, you need to be prepared in terms of the tools you need to use in that ring. Now the question is what tools you will use, what situation will come about so that you have to use this tool or that tool, and that's how you go about it. And you can't be thinking consciously about it, because that will slow you down. It's kind of like in the moment, you're just pulling these different tools as is appropriate to the situation. You know what I mean? That's how it kind of goes. It's kind of like a flow state. You're not thinking too much. It's not like conscientious thinking through it, but you got the tools to do what you need to do. And so I think that's what Floyd does. I don't know. I may be wrong. I may be off the keel because I'm assuming here, but I think that's what he uses in fights. That's what make him, that good a fighter, that good a boxer. And for those people who think that Floyd, he's a coward and all he does is hug and run, no, he don't do that. He loves fighting in the pocket. That's his strongest suit. That's where he get to counter punch people. That's where he gets to lead off on people. And he's got so many different skill sets that he can kind of pick and choose what he want to use as appropriate to the situation. He's got more options than probably most other fighters fighting. Most other fighters, they only got one style of fighting, and they got one way of fighting. And Floyd got a variety of ways he can do it, and if he finds that the fighter's style is effective against him, he may try and use that style back at the fighter to see if it's effective against the fighter. You know what I mean? So, being able to adapt, being versatile, that's the thing that made Floyd Mayweather what he was. That he doesn't have to stick to he's not just defined by one particular style of fighting. That even within that particular style that people talk about that he fights, that he implements that style differently for every single fighter he fights. He might do some trademark things, but at the end of the day, he can take the style, make it flexible, bend it to other styles, and that style is an incorporation of other styles. And that's the thing I've been trying to tell people all along. And people seem to take me lightly on this, like, oh yeah, no, Floyd's a shoulder roll, and you hear the people just echo things, and you know they are not thinking, like they're not on that level that Floyd is on, and that's the problem with it. If you are just somebody who just watch boxing and like going guts, and I want to see knockouts, then okay, you're not gonna like Floyd Mayweather's style. You're not gonna appreciate what he's doing in there because you're not really looking at what he's doing. You're not paying attention to how he's adapting, shifting, using his versatility to handle different situations. All you're seeing is shoulder roll defense. You know what I mean? Floyd is not just the shoulder roll defense. I've been telling people this for the longest while. He's way beyond that. He's whatever it takes to defeat his opponent, and he will actually start to imitate and copy his opponent as he's fighting them to kind of mesh. Like I said, he gets in harmony with his opponent before he beats them. Anyway, man, I hope I shared some knowledge with some of you guys. I like this video. That's why I said kudos to AOV Boxing, because AOV Boxing kind of shared some knowledge with you people. You guys have a great one.